No matter what type of work you do, good grammar is relevant for all places, and it can make a big difference in your personal growth. As Kyle Wiens, CEO of iFixit, an online repair manual company, wrote in a Harvard Business Review article, if job hopefuls can't distinguish between two and two, their applications go into the bin. A bit harsh? Sure, but he's not alone. Again and again, we've heard managers complain about employees not knowing how to write a correct English sentence. Here's a look at 11 of the most common grammar mistakes. First, apostrophes. Wrong. We need to get our sales numbers up. Right. We need to get our sales numbers up. This is an example of the all too frequent attack of the unnecessary apostrophe. People see an S at the end of a word and think, add an apostrophe. But often they shouldn't. You use an apostrophe in a contraction. Example, there is to theirs. Or to show possession. Example, the manager's pet peeve. You don't use one if the S is there simply to make a word a plural. 2. Every day, every day. Wrong. He starts work every day at 8 a.m. Right? He starts work every day at 8 a.m. Every day, one word, no space, is an adjective describing something that's very common, like an everyday occurrence. Every day, with the space, is an adverbial phrase that means each day. A quick test to tell which is right. If you can use a day of the week, say Monday, in the sentence, you should use every day. Third, I, me. Wrong. The marketing manager told Riley and I to talk with her. Right. The marketing manager told Riley and me to talk with her. The general rule, use I when it's the subject of a verb. Example, I walked to the store. Use me when the pronoun is the object of the verb, or when the verb is doing something to someone or something. Example, the dog followed me to the store. Fourth, it's. Wrong. The company just celebrated its 8th year since it went public. Right? The company just celebrated its 8th year since it went public. We've seen a lot of people write it's when they want to show possession, but that's the incorrect usage. Problem is, of course, as we mentioned before, we normally do use the apostrophe to show ownership, as in the CEO's email, but you don't when it comes to the word it. Only do so when you're writing a contraction of it is. That said, it's sometimes hard to understand English and all of its weird rules and exceptions. 5. Less, fewer. Wrong. Less than 50 people showed up for the presentation. Right. Fewer than 50 people showed up for the presentation. This doesn't bother us. But we've heard a lot of complaints from managers. So here are the kind of picky, but technically correct, rules about less and fewer. Use fewer for numbered, countable things. Example, 100 fewer purchases. Use less for things that can't be counted, at least reasonably. Example, there's less sand at this beach. Use less with numbers when they are a single or total unit that measures distance, amount, or time. Example, less than 30% of us bothered learning these rules. 6th, lie, lay. Wrong. I could just lay down and go to sleep. Right. I could just lie down and go to sleep. To lie is intransitive, which means it doesn't have an object and doesn't do anything to anyone or anything else. Example, I lie down. To lay is transitive, which means it does have an object. As in something or someone, the verb is doing something to, example, I lay down my head. To be technical, you can say, I lay myself down, where myself is put in as the object of the verb. We're not lying when we say it can be a little confusing. 7th, lose, loose. Wrong. If we stay on this track, we can't lose. Right. If we stay on this track, we can't lose. This is a pair of so-called confusables that have only one letter differentiating them, that extra O in loose. That's probably why so many managers complain about getting emails and reports that talk about things like losing ground in sales. Just remember that loose is almost always used as an adjective, meaning not tight. and lose is a verb meaning to suffer a loss. 8. That who. Wrong. The people that reach their sales target will get a reward. Right? The people who reach their sales target will get a reward. This is a bit nitpicky, but it was mentioned as a pet peeve by many of the managers we've spoken with. How to avoid it? Use that when you're talking about things, and who when you're talking about people. But it can get a little more complicated. A sales team or another group of people could be both a that or a who. Since it's a thing made of people and animals, technically, they're that, in spite of how we feel about our furry pals. 9, then, than. Wrong. That presentation was better than the first one. Right? That presentation was better than the first one. This is such an easy mistake to make and one that autocorrect might not catch. So remember this. You use then when you're talking about time. Example, I'm going to go to the meeting, then to lunch. And use than when you're comparing things. Example, I'm older than he is. Interestingly, there's a very good reason these two words look so alike. They were originally the same word in Middle English, used interchangeably with both meanings. 10. There. Wrong. They're going to their office over there. Right? They're going to their office over there. 3 words that sound alike, but with completely different meanings, and a surprising number of people mixing them up in emails and memos. There is a location, as in not here. Sometimes it's also used as an exclamation. Example, so there. There is a contraction of they are, and there is a possessive, meaning ownership by more than one person. 11. Your. Wrong. You're my favorite supervisor. Right? You're my favorite supervisor. Here's another one that autocorrect often doesn't catch because it's spelled right even if it's grammatically wrong. But be careful. Your is a contraction, only used to mean you are. Your is a possessive of you, used when you want to show possession. Remember this, you're going to be just fine if you watch your grammar. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more tips and tricks. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next video.